What's up, you guys? It's Jared the Flipping Genius, coming to you with a tutorial piece of advice about when is the right time to quit your job and to go into reselling full-time. There's a lot of different perspectives on this, and I just want to kind of tell you a little bit about my experience and what helped me kind of get over the stressful situation, the anxiety, how to talk to your spouse about it, all of the above. And maybe it'll be some good information for you to kind of carry on and make it easier for you as well. So a little over a year ago, I took a sales job where I was commission based only, and I did a lot of traveling all over Northern California. And I always kind of resold on the side, but I started taking it more seriously a few years ago when I really started seeing my profit margins really increasing, where I'd buy something for 10 and sell it for 50, or buy something for $1, sell it for 20. And when you started seeing that money kind of come in and those sales go through, it's a shot of dopamine that you want to keep having. That you like the little ding cash register sound when you make a sale, because that means you made money. So what I did was, I knew that I wanted to always resell, at least on the side, but when I really wanted to take it full time is you have to make more money reselling than you make at your job. And the way that you do that is you start selling on obviously start reselling on eBay or whatever local marketplaces you have. Use all the resources that you can, and when your income reselling surpasses your income working your full-time job, that's rule number one. I think that's a very huge step. Now, some people make the argument, well, I have all these expenses at my job, so I make a little bit less reselling, but it averages out because I have to commute, I have to spend so much time, I have to pay a certain amount of taxes as a W-2 employee where I don't as a reseller, whatever. Every situation is different, but the real kind of, I think, silver lining is you make more money reselling, it's going to be a lot easier for you to get on the same page, not only with yourself, with your family, with your spouse, even with your bosses of job that you're thinking about leaving. And those are all arrows in your quiver. You're stacking up the deck in your favor. So for instance, at your job, if you're hoping to get a raise and somebody beats you, or somebody gets promoted over you, or you're asking for a raise and they don't allow it. Well, if you're making your own money on the side and it's starting to creep up to your salary or even surpassing it, now you have a legitimate argument to say, well, I'm only doing this on the side and my income is close, if not more, than what I make here. Why would I stay here? So it can work in your favor. So when I was out doing my regular job as a salesman, I would always source items where I was driving very far distances all over Northern California, and I would keep to that asymmetric return where I would buy, say, 10 items for $25. I'd make sure at least one item would sell for that $25 to recoup my investment, and then I'd have 9 items working for me forever until I take them off of my reselling platforms. And I did that for a year, and I was able to stockpile quite a bit amount of inventory to where I knew that if I quit my job, I would have at least a full 30 to 60 days where I could list every single day, and I would have inventory that was already paid for in full. So that helped my stress and my anxiety level, and it also helped me talk to my spouse about it, where she would be on board, because the value of the items I had accumulated, or my inventory I had sourced, was like 6 months' salary when it was all said and done. Now, just because you have all these items doesn't mean that they sell right away. It's a process. So keep that in mind. But if you are thinking about quitting your job and you're asking yourself, I'm so scared to do this, I've never done this before, or I'm so scared because what are people going to think, or how am I going to explain that I'm going to do this, or how will my spouse ever be on board? Set yourself up for success by doing 3 things ideally. Make the same amount, if not more, reselling. Have inventory that's already paid for and ready the day you quit your job, that you will be busy. That if you couldn't source for a month, you have enough items where you're sourcing, or you're listing, every single day and staying busy. and you can keep that influx of your items in your inventory going while starting to pull money. So it's very important to keep growth. If you are just breaking even every month where you're taking out as much money of your business and it's not able to grow, you basically just traded one job for another job. A business is where you're scaling to where eventually you can either hire employees or you're making more money for yourself than you were making as a W-2 employee for a business company, whatever. So that's rule number one. Rule number two is do not underestimate the power of downsizing, decluttering, or helping other people around you and letting them know what you're trying to do. For instance, if you are trying to source more items but you're on a very tight budget, put the word out to people you work with your family. If you have Saturday, Sunday off, hey, I'm doing this reselling business full time and I want to eventually quit my job. Is there anything that you need to clean out of your house that I could come and clean out for you? I won't take any money for it, but I can resell some of the items maybe, as part of adding to your inventory. Might take you a few hours of your day, but a zero cost investment and cherry picking through items. Also, you can go and take that stuff to donation centers and receive a not a tax refund, but a receipt for your taxes later on in the year. So financially, it's a zero investment by gas and time, but it is a great way to source items. And people naturally want to help you. They want to see you succeed, especially people that are close to you, that they'll give you items and just say, here, just take it. And you're providing them a service as well. You're providing value for them. They don't want to clean out their garage. They don't want to clean out their attic. They don't want to clean out a guest bedroom. Kids have gone off to college. They don't want to throw a huge garage sale. You're going to provide that value and time for them to give you items. So that's a good way to source. And you also don't need 16 pairs of black shoes around your house. You don't need a chocolate fondue set for that one party once a year. Get rid of those things. Declutter. It clears your mind. Once it's listed and it sells, you won't think about it again. And things can be replaced very easily for a much lower cost. So don't get hung up on the mundane details of the fear of missing out. Oh, I'm going to miss that item when we had to use it that one time. You can always go replace it. I promise you can, a chocolate fondue set, you can go to Goodwill right now or Salvation Army or whatever and find one for pennies on what you paid for it. And 3, make a plan consistently with what you want to do. Get on the same page with yourself. Get on the same page with your spouse. Get on the same page with your family, whoever is in your corner, and say, look, this is what I want to do. This is my proven track record of what I've been able to do. My sales are this much. I have this much in inventory that I can list right now that I don't have to pay for. And that makes it a lot easier for people to understand what you're doing and see your strategy and see your plan and back you for that. It'll take a lot of the stress and the anxiety because you're leaving something that seems stable for something that is the unknown. But if you set yourself up with these different scenarios and these different steps in your plan, it's going to make it a lot less stressful for you guys. And that's all I have to say. Make sure you guys hit the like button if you can and subscribe. If you have any questions whatsoever, please comment down below. But again, hope you guys are doing well. I wish you the most success in your reseller e-commerce business, and hopefully I talk to you soon.